in your experience, is there anything else that's sort of missing, what's a missing piece between awareness and integration? What else is there that we're not looking at?
Yeah. Um, Awareness is a great starting point, you
Yeah.
know. It's just like seeing the unseen, and that's a great starting point. And when we see the unseen, a next step will be almost automatically feeling the unfelt, which is what are the feelings that I have around this specific situation that I haven't allowed myself to feel to completion, the repressed emotions that are associated to this that I haven't allowed myself to feel to completion. What I often see is if we make that distinction between, let's say we have an emotional body, your emotional body is not going to follow your mental body
Yeah.
to a place where, let's say, I'm going to take an example. Um, let's say what you want to experience and to live is full joy. You know, the experience that you're calling in is full of joy, full of intimacy. And deep down into your body, you start to realize, wow, I still equate intimacy with threat and danger.
Yeah.
Your emotional body is not going to take you into a relationship that is fully intimate if you still equate intimacy with danger, and that is still the main emotional signature that is within you. So you're
Yeah,
gonna
that's the
have to feel
avoidant
the unfelt.
attachment style, sounds like it, right?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
you're gonna have to go inside and
Mm,
actually meet the part of you that is still scared of
yeah.
something that I don't know, that your future promises. So what I see a lot of people dismissing is there are things we want, and some of the things we want may expose us to fears that have not yet been metabolized and digested. And we can have all the awareness possible. If you're not willing to meet to meet your fearful self and to learn how to, I want to say, anchor a new, I want definition of safety, a new form of safety that doesn't require necessarily that you become um, completely free of all pain, but that requires that you learn how to stay even when pain is here, even when hardship is here.
Hmm.
Then you can actually walk the path of embodiment. I'm going to take an example. I This year, for example, I published a book, and you know, the fear of humiliation has always been a big imprint for me.
Sounds like it.
You
It's
know,
definitely a through
it
line
has
I'm
always
seeing.
it
Yeah.
has always been a big imprint for me.
Yes,
So
yes.
I've always tried the best I could to not to expose myself to situations where I may
Hmm.
be ridiculed or seen as a fool and all of that.
Yeah.
But even this year, by putting the book out there, I'm exposing myself to a higher degree of visibility. I'm taking literally some of my ideas and I'm putting them in a book. And as soon as they land into somebody's hands, they are no longer mine. They can do whatever they want
So
with them.
true. Yeah. Yeah.
And that felt like a
It feels
massive degree
vulnerable.
of exposure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what? And in this moment, my assignment it is to learn how to be with the exposure, period. Not to get rid of
And how
it.
you doing
Because I'm
so
not.
far?
Sorry?
How are you doing
Well,
so far?
so far, I think I've been faring pretty good, you know?
Okay, good.
But
Yeah.
internally, it is that practice. It's like,
Mhm.
can I be with the exposure? Can I
Okay.
be with the vulnerable exposure? Can I actually be with when the fear emerges, can I stay in my body? When I come here to be on a podcast with Seline, can I actually be here? Even though
Hmm.
I don't know where you might want to take the conversation, right? There is
Yeah.
a vulnerable exposure there. Can I stay in my body? Can I stay here and be connected to you? Even though, you know, all these fears and all these voices might still be here. And I think that is the main gap between awareness and embodiment, where you basically need to create the emotional real estate. I think of it as emotional real estate. Your
Emotional
capacity to
real
be,
estate. Say
yeah,
more.
your capacity to be with the fears that you projected into the future, the fears that you think, oh, if I allow myself to show up out there, I may be alienated, humiliated, I may experience attacks, I may experience loss of any kind. Your capacity to say yes to all these fears, and to be like, yeah, I may experience all of this, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's
Feel the
absolutely
fear
okay.
and do it anyway. Like the
Yeah,
title
it
said.
it it
Yeah.
fuels your capacity to be with the desires that you actually want. It fuels your capacity to embody what you actually crave.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think just imagine the amount of freedom you would have when you're
Oh yeah.
in that position, and your ability to just get out of your comfort zone and just put yourself out there, and you would attract so many opportunities. Of course, you're going to fail, but you'd be okay
Yeah.
with failing because you
Yeah.
have made peace with that fear. Like, I could mess up. People could think I'm stupid. People could think, all sorts of things about me. But you know what? I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
And to
that
me,
is
that's
ultimate
what
freedom.
self-liberation is.
Self-liberation? Yes,
Yes,
for
that's what
sure.
self-liberation is.
For
It's like, oh,
sure.
I can afford fear.
Yeah.
And that's what the saboteur, self-sabotage, for example, or all these
Yes.
different things. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
can you afford fear? Can you afford ridicule? And if you say no, I'm stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you
Yeah. Yeah.
if the answer inside is no, it's like a part of you is going to protect you. That's how the system is wired.
Hmm.
When your intuition says go ahead and do this thing, there's a part of you that tracks for safety, and that part of you is going to ask, well, can you afford the possibility of looking like a fool? Can you afford the possibility of like not knowing where you're going? Can you afford, being with the uncertainty? Can you afford, I don't know, feeling like an alien for like several months? Can you afford all of this? And if you're not able to say yes, meaning you cannot afford the emotional experiences, this is why I call it financial real estate. Sorry,
Mm.
emotional
Emotional
real
real
estate.
estate. Yes.
So if you are not able to say yes, you don't have the emotional real estate to finance your freedom or to finance
Mm.
your potential.
Hmm.
But if you are able to say, oh, can I afford ridicule? Yes.
Yeah.
Can I afford alienation? Yes. Can I afford this? Yes. Can I be
Mm.
with it? Can I love myself into it? And if your answers are yes, oh, you can afford it. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so key. And it sounds to me like it's a muscle that you need to build, like that emotional resilience. And that
Mm-hmm.
comes from exposing yourself to new places and just trying new things, getting yourself in uncomfortable situations, as you did with releasing the book. Because the more
Yeah.
you do it, the better you get at it. Like, you have to put yourself out there to get to that place. Otherwise, the
Absolutely.
boogeyman of your fears is just going to be like, no, 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 just stay at home and, don't
Yeah.
do anything. And it can be
Yeah.
harder for some people who've had difficult childhoods, who've had, they were bullied as a kid, because
Yeah.
it takes a lot to get to that place of inner strength, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And for these people, and for all of us, we've had these experiences. Putting myself out there, for example, experiencing humiliation, going out there has required that I allowed myself to face the feelings of humiliation that I felt as a high schooler that I didn't know how to deal with. So
Mm,
microdosing painful, microdosing pain, honestly,
yeah.
especially the pain that we didn't know how
Like
to
at the
be
gym,
with.
right?
That
When you're
is
doing weights and
absolutely
yeah, similar to
the
that.
pain that is still in our body. That's
Yeah.
our first assignment. That's our first assignment. It's almost like your higher self is telling you, "Hey, okay, you want to go there and you want to do that, but it will expose you to a version of pain that is still in your body that you haven't allowed yourself to metabolize and digest yet, and
Hmm.
it will bring that up and ask of you, can you work through this?"
Yeah.
Can you work through this so that you reclaim capacity and so that you are able to go out there and to do the thing that you are really fired up about? So the system when I look at this system, I can't help but see the beauty of how it is designed. How your shadow self and your higher self are constantly working together to support you. How your pain is constantly working to help you reclaim and summon the courage and the wisdom that is already here. Because the pain itself is not what turns into power, and the wound itself is not necessarily what turns into wisdom, but the wound is the portal that helps you summon the wisdom, summon the power, summon the, you know, the power that was already within you in order
Hmm.
to move through it. So I see it as a portal. And I just find it fascinating. I think human beings are fascinating.
Yes, they absolutely are. I mean, if you think about it, the whole inner mechanics, it's all like interconnected. Everything is just orchestrates itself in such a beautiful way. And the key is to really get in touch with that, as you say, and really stay with it. That's all we need
Yeah.
to do. And that can be a challenge in our world where we're so busy and stimulated, and it's getting harder and harder, right?
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.